And this gets interestingly into kind of the Judeo-Christian tradition. And I'm not advocating for any specific religion, but it's just one I'm familiar with. It's like, if we had to, regardless of if you're a believer or non-believer, Christ is symbolic of two main things. Like, you could argue more, but it's to speak the truth and to honor the sovereignty of the individual. Those are like his two core teachings. And I mean that for believers and non-believers, in that Christ is symbolic of that teaching in the same way a ghost emoji is symbolic of a paranormal apparition. Like, even if you don't believe in ghosts, we all still know what the ghost emoji signifies, right? That's what Christ signifies. So I'm saying this in a totally, I'm not, a lot of people in Bitcoin especially get very dodgy on religion because they're like, oh, we already separated church and state, let's not reintroduce it. But it's like the symbolism of Christ purely means truthfulness and individual sovereignty. Bitcoin maximizes both of those things. It is the most honest monetary system we have ever had. And by holding your own keys, you are maximally sovereign. There is no government decision in the world that can shake out your hand or change the value of your holdings or siphon wealth from you or steal your time. So in that sense, I think that this is kind of like grand arc of history. The whole arc of history has been a decentralization of sovereignty over time. We've moved from, say like ancient Egypt, where you had the pharaohs that were absolutely sovereign. Everyone else was a slave, basically, to monarchies where you had monarchs that were mostly sovereign with an aristocracy that was semi-sovereign with a bunch of serfs, to democracy, right, where we have a representational body that's mostly sovereign and then a lot of disenfranchised people beneath them. And now we're moving to the next stage where I think, and this is where I encourage people to read the book, The Sovereign Individual, which is just super prescient. We're moving to a state of the world where individuals are maximally sovereign, as enabled by cryptographic and digital tools that sort of allow us to perform the functions of governments and self-government at an individual level. So it's just another extension of the Andreessen axiom that software is eating the world. Like, through the technology that Bitcoin represents, we now have a wave of innovation that is functional enough to eat many of the functions of government, basically. And I think money is clearly one of the biggest functions that's being devoured first by Bitcoin. And I think its technology will also be used to eat other functions like property rights, voting, identity, things like this. So yeah, it's an amazing time to be alive, because the possibilities are seemingly infinite, and the way we look at the world is changing dramatically, and it's changing really fast. So it's like you're intelligent to be woke to this.